The 2024 Caribbean Music Awards took an unexpected and dramatic turn when Meghan Markle was forcibly removed from the stage by the event's host, dancehall icon Spice. As Markle began delivering a speech, Spice interrupted, abruptly ending Markle's address and physically pushing her off stage. The incident, filmed by audience members, quickly spread across social media, sparking widespread debate and sending shockwaves through both the entertainment industry and the British royal circles. The altercation between Spice and Markle has exposed deep cultural tensions, as well as raising questions about Markle's role and presence at an event dedicated to Caribbean culture. The confrontation seemed to take on a life of its own, with Spice later justifying her actions by arguing that Markle's attendance and participation were disrespectful. According to Spice, Markle's background and connection to Caribbean heritage are tenuous at best, and she believed that the Duchess had little understanding or authentic bond with the Caribbean community and culture. "This is our space, our celebration," Spice said afterward, expressing that she was offended by what she saw as Markle's cultural insensitivity. Her remarks underscored a view that Markle's presence might have been a strategic publicity move rather than a genuine connection to the region and its people. This startling incident left the audience in shock, with the initial hush swiftly turning into cheers and applause, largely in favor of Spice's bold actions. The crowd's support for the host's stance reflects a broader sentiment within certain communities that view Markle's appearances at culturally specific events with skepticism, often perceiving them as attempts to control her public image rather than as acts of solidarity or support. However, not everyone saw the altercation in a positive light. As the video went viral, public opinion split sharply. Some defended Spice's actions as an expression of cultural pride and authenticity, while others criticized her approach as excessive and inappropriate for such a high-profile event. The immediate reactions on social media have reflected this division. Supporters of Spice celebrated her as a guardian of Caribbean culture, with posts and comments praising her for standing up to what they see as cultural exploitation. "We've had enough of outsiders co-opting our heritage just for clicks," read one comment, capturing a sentiment echoed by many online. In contrast, those who condemned the incident argue that Spice's actions were harsh and that Markle, who has African-American heritage and has shown interest in different cultures, may have been unfairly ostracized. Some have even suggested that a gentler approach would have sufficed, and that Spice's behavior was less about defending culture and more about creating a spectacle. This confrontation has also reignited a debate over Markle's connection to the Caribbean and the legitimacy of her presence at events with strong cultural identities. Critics claim that Markle's decision to attend the Caribbean Music Awards was part of a calculated public relations move rather than an authentic interest in Caribbean issues, with the intent of broadening her appeal amid declining popularity in some Western circles. They argue that Markle's attempts to connect with different cultural groups often appear superficial and do not convey a genuine connection or commitment. "She's always seeking the next platform," one cultural commentator remarked, suggesting that the Caribbean Music Awards may have seemed like an attractive venue for her to regain relevance, particularly among communities of color. Conversely, some defenders of Markle see this critique as overly harsh. They argue that as a biracial woman, Markle has an inherent interest in connecting with diverse communities, including those within the African diaspora. They question the fairness of scrutinizing her every public appearance, noting that celebrities often attend a variety of cultural events without facing similar backlash. Markle's supporters maintain that she has faced relentless scrutiny from her time as a royal, and that her attendance at events like the Caribbean Music Awards could simply reflect her genuine desire to be part of different cultural narratives. For Markle, however, this incident could have significant repercussions. Already a polarizing figure due to her high-profile exit from the British royal family and her ongoing efforts to re-establish a brand independent of royal associations, this new controversy may deepen public doubts about her sincerity. This incident comes on the heels of past criticisms that have painted her as opportunistic, especially following her public ventures and media appearances that have been scrutinized as calculated attempts to maintain her celebrity status. The Caribbean Music Awards debacle only adds to these perceptions, reinforcing a view held by some that Markle's connections to cultural movements and minority communities are performative. The debate has been further fueled by statements from royal insiders who have questioned Markle's alignment with Caribbean culture and hinted at concerns about the motivations behind her recent public engagements. Some royal analysts suggest that the British royal family might be privately dismayed at Markle's continued involvement in high-profile events, especially those that invite negative media attention. The incident at the Caribbean Music Awards may give critics in both the UK and abroad additional reasons to question her integrity and suitability as a public figure representing diverse communities. Markle herself has not yet made a public response to the incident, but sources close to her have reportedly suggested that she is considering legal action against Spice. If pursued, this legal route could intensify the already heightened public interest, especially given the cultural and racial dimensions of the dispute. Legal analysts indicate that a lawsuit could bring more attention to the perceived insult Markle endured on a global stage, potentially positioning her as a sympathetic figure to some audiences. However, it could also amplify criticisms from those who believe she is capitalizing on her status to overshadow what was intended as a celebration of Caribbean heritage. Ultimately, the incident at the Caribbean Music Awards will likely have lasting effects on both Markle's and Spice's public images. For Spice, this confrontation has boosted her status as a defender of Caribbean culture, and she has been celebrated by many for her passionate and unapologetic stance. For Markle, however, the impact may be less favorable. Already grappling with a complicated relationship with the public, this episode might further entrench the image of her as a polarizing and opportunistic figure, eager to engage in cultural spaces without a deeply rooted connection. As the debate unfolds, it has become a reflection of broader issues surrounding celebrity involvement in cultural representation, the boundaries of authenticity, and the complexities of public perception in the age of social media. The Caribbean Music Awards incident has left audiences around the world grappling with questions about authenticity, cultural ownership, and the ethics of celebrity appearances in spaces with deep cultural significance. While Spice may be hailed as a cultural gatekeeper for her actions, Markle's presence and subsequent removal from the stage reveal an ongoing tension between celebrity influence and cultural integrity. In an era where social media can amplify and distort events in seconds, the consequences of this public altercation are far from over. For now, it seems the world is watching closely to see how both women navigate the aftermath and what it might reveal about the evolving dynamics of cultural representation on the global stage.